Hello, my friends. This is Yara, and today I woke up with a whole bunch of text messages, either on Facebook or on text messages, telling me like Crossout Designator has been confirmed. Some YouTubers have been pulling it from the tin, so it's not no longer just a rumor; it is confirmed, and that's why I wanted to make this video right here called "The Death of Handtraps" and what the future holds for handtraps as a whole. Will it change the meta? So, and once again, I am not talking about Nobleman of Crossout. I have heard this joke countless times. No, Nobleman of Crossout is not the card that everybody's freaking out about unless you are playing Guru Control. In that case, you should be afraid of Nobleman of Crossout. But anyways, let's get started. So, in case you don't know what Nobleman of Crossout does, it says declare one card name, banish one of that declared card from your main deck, and if you do, negate its effect as well as the activated effects and effects on the field of cards with the same original name until the end of this turn. You can only activate one Crossout Designator per turn. So essentially, if you activate an effect and your opponent ashes you, you can go ahead and activate this, declare ash, banish an ash from your deck, and that ash that your opponent used is negated, right? So that's how it works. It's like a Called by the Grave 2.0, because it's not just for monsters, it's also for any card that you have in your deck. So will this change the meta? All right, so there are people that are on the camp of no, it will not change the meta. The same decks that are dominating will continue to dominate, and there is some truth to that. If we look at some decks like Dragtron, right, that lose to Droll or Cycle Reader, they can just start main decking Cycle Reader and Droll and banish it with Crossout Designator, and now essentially they removed the counter to their deck. So some of the top decks will continue to be topping because now they have a counter to those things. But is that the camp that I'm in? No, as a matter of fact, I think it will drastically change the meta, but not in the way that you think. So that's why I want you to strap along, and we are gonna discuss why I think this will drastically change the meta. So if we look at hand traps nowadays, if let's say your opponent activates Pot of Desires, right, and then you chain Ash to that because you don't want them to get a +1, this is what you're facing nowadays. You are gonna be facing either triple tactic talents, a Call by the Grave, a Gamma, or a Crossout Designator. So essentially, hand traps this month have been nerfed tremendously because now you're gonna think to yourself, should I even ash this card because I'm risking getting hit by any of these cards, right? So I believe that in the future, the way that the meta will change is that people may start putting hand traps aside for once. There are a lot of people that believe that hand traps are essential, but with I think the release of Crossout Designator will change it so that hand traps may not be the go-to thing anymore, right? As a matter of fact, I think that going second cards like Dark Ruler no more, or Forbidden Droplet, or Kaijus, or Lightning Storms may be the norm going forward when you go second, because these cards don't automatically lose to a Crossout Designator. Sure, they can negate all of this, but they are less likely to be main decking one of these going first, right? So they are more likely to be main decking the Drolls, the Imperm, the Ashes, the Veilers, all of those. And this, I believe, like especially Kaijus, they can't really negate this with the Crossout Designator. So and this is not just my theory. It's not like I'm over here like teaching you like new ways or anything like that. No. This is, as a matter of fact, the first play UK Extravaganza that won like a month ago, that went undefeated. He was running only 2 hand traps in his main deck, 2 Veilers, and I wouldn't even consider Phantasme a hand trap. This is more like you can just summon it off your seals or something like that. So 2.5 hand traps in the main deck. And the reason why I believe he was running Veilers is because it's a combo piece, right? You take it out with Hulk. So I believe that if it wasn't even a combo piece to get to access code, he would probably not even be running Veilers, to be honest. So this is not my theory. I'm not the one that came up with this. We're just getting rid of main decking hand traps. No, this is some very well-known players that are getting rid of hand traps. As a matter of fact, they're main decking hard going second cards like Droplet or Triple Tactics. It's good going second as well. So I believe that the meta will change so that hand traps will no longer be the go-to strategy on your main deck going forward, right? At least for some decks. So what does this mean for other decks? I think that decks that automatically lost to one card, like Nibiru right here, both of these decks right here, the Heroes and the Salamangreats, they got nerfed once Nibiru came out. As a matter of fact, when people tell you they're playing around Nibiru when Salamangreats, what they mean by that is they're hoping you didn't draw the Nibiru. That's how you play around Nibiru with Salamangreats. There's like no real way to play around it. So I believe that this two, like decks like these that automatically lose to one hand trap, just got a huge boost in consistency, right? Because they're gonna be able to be main decking cards like Nibiru and Crossout Designator. So now they're gonna be more able to be making plays and not worrying about automatically losing to a Nibiru. And also decks like Infernoble Knights that lose to like stuff like Imperm or Valor or a well-timed Nibiru will also be able to thrive with Crossout Designator. So I think this will change the format, where like some decks that were not seeing a lot of popularity like these will be played more often now, because they will no longer lose to hand traps, essentially like Nibiru, Ash, or Imperm. So now I think the question that everybody came to this video for is, what is the fate of hand traps? Are they really dead? Should we just throw them? Should we sell them? For right now, they have been nerfed. Main deck in hand traps has been nerfed tremendously. Where like, if you look at it before Crossout Designator got announced, that everybody would clown you if you were like, I'm not running hand traps. They would just be like, dude, are you crazy? But so if you ask me what is the fate of hand traps, well, it all depends on what this upcoming ban list looks like, the one in October. If we don't see any hits to Triple Tactics or Call By or Crossout Designator or Gamma, because in the OCG Gamma got limited, Crossout Designator got semi-limited, so hand traps will still thrive over there. But over here, no, that it's almost bad nowadays to be main decking hand traps for some decks. So the fate of hand traps, the fate of Ash, Valor, Bell, Nibiru, all these hand traps depends on what this future ban list looks like, the October ban list. So if I were you, I will keep a close eye on Konami and seeing what they determine to be the healthy approach that they will take regarding hand traps, because as of now, hand traps have been nerfed, unfortunately. So I think Kaijus will see more play, Droplet will see more play, Dark Ruler no more, Lightning Storm, all those cards that are hard going second cards that don't automatically lose to a Crossout Designator will be able to see more play. So, and like I said, yeah, sure, you can negate stuff like Lightning Storm and Crossout Designator, but would you really want to be siding in Lightning Storms going first as a combo player? No, of course not, right? So yeah, so that's why I want to know what your thoughts and opinions are on the comments below. Do you think that hand traps got nerfed with the release of Crossout Designator? What do you think is the fate of hand traps? Should we still be main decking stuff like Ash, Valor, Bell, and all those cards with how much counterplay they have now? I want to know what your thoughts and opinions are on the comments below. I am really interested to see what people have to say about this. But if you stuck around until the end of the video, don't forget to hit that like button. It helps this channel out a lot. But as always, this was Yara here, and I will catch you on the next video. Take care.